Okay, I'm going to cover Cecil's rants on UK gun culture or gun licensing and stuff like that. Right, his previous video is this one right here, right? Just want to check that I am recording. But his original video is this one here. It says, "No guns in the UK." A misleading title in the first place. And what he basically says is that we don't have guns. Now, he says we don't have guns, and then he says, well, only police officers, and then he says, well, if you have cattle and stuff, which is kind of right, but he didn't get it right in the fucking first place. And the title of the video is completely misleading. So, let's get into the video.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, for the person telling me that I need to take my pea shooter, which is actually a powerful 9mm that will blow your eardrums out. And
the word pea shooter is sometimes referred in the YouTube atmosphere because the word gun is not... it's one of those words that YouTube doesn't like, so the people use pea shooter. Now, he may or may not have been insulting your gun. I don't know.
And if you're filming while shooting, it'll blow you could be 5 foot away, it'll blow your fucking phone right off of its foundation. So, I don't know how that's a pea shooter to me. That sounds like something very powerful. Now, anything less than a 9mm, yeah, probably a pea shooter, like a .22 caliber. But that just goes to show how... This ain't my car, babe. That just goes to show... Right over here is my car, the luxury BMW over here. It just goes to show how uneducated people from the United Kingdom are when it comes to firearms. See?
Cecil, you have no idea about what people know or don't know in the UK. And I am going to show you at the end of this video what I actually look at on YouTube. So to say that I don't have guns, that I don't know anything about guns because I'm in the UK, Cecil, that's a bit of an insult, to be honest with you. There is actually loads of people that have guns. I had a grandfather, 2 uncles, and another uncle who had a farm. They used guns for competition, hunting, and the farm. We use them as tools. In the UK, a gun is a utility. It's a tool. We don't carry them around every day because that's not our culture. But they're used like any other tool. That's the way we look at guns.
People talk shit about Americans and gun violence and stuff, but it's like, that's because Americans are allowed to have guns.
So are people in the UK.
And Americans are violent, so of course there's going to be gun violence in America. Duh. But that's mostly people who aren't allowed to have guns that are violent.
But we do. We can have guns. Cecil, you haven't done your research before you opened your gob. Now, you will do your research later and watch most likely just one video, but you go out and correct yourself later. But there's no problem with sticking your hand up and saying, listen, you know, my video was a bit misleading, and I says that we can't have guns. That is actually wrong.
You see, they don't have gun rights to lose, so they don't have nothing to lose with their guns.
We do have gun rights. Cecil. Just because it's not the same as the United States doesn't mean we don't have guns or the right to have guns. This is completely misleading, Cecil.
Now, people who have gun rights who are legal, like myself, we don't want to lose our gun rights, so we're not violent. But what I wanted to say to the idiot right night about, by the way, I bought me some magical poop.
I don't care.
That's how Americans are. We buy and sell magical poop. So yeah. But anyway, there is no guns allowed in the United Kingdom. If you're not a police
There's no guns allowed in the UK. That is a completely incorrect statement.
officer, you're not allowed to have a gun.
No. Let me go back on that again.
Allowed in the United Kingdom. If you're not a police officer, you're not allowed to have a gun.
Which is bollocks. Absolute dog shit. It's pure and utter rubbish that you're coming out with here.
So you don't know nothing about guns.
A person that doesn't have a gun doesn't mean they don't know anything about firearms, Cecil. I have a couple of firearms videos on my channel, actually. Do you know? There was one from the American Folk Park. A guy was demonstrating the Mosin Nagant. So, Cecil, we do know about guns.
The only time you're allowed to have a gun is when you're shooting cattle or something.
But that's contradicting what you just said.
Or if you're in gun competition. If you're in shooting competition, there is shooting competitions in United Kingdom. I know that because I watch a lot of shooting competitions.
So you watch more than just the Black Rambo, which is not very educational at all. I just think it's just flexing and stuff. I'll show you what I watch in a minute. But Cecil, this is a contradiction. You're saying we don't have guns, we're not allowed to have guns unless you're a police officer, and now you're saying you're not allowed guns unless you have, you're in a competition or you have a firearm, which is more sort of correct than the first time.
So, I just wanted to say that. Don't speak on guns, dude, and don't entice suicide either.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into that part of it. But, Cecil, you're talking out of your arse. You obviously didn't do any research. Now, this is what has come up on my recommended here. I've got Honest Outlaw. It's a very good review channel for guns. This is my recommended. Oh, I got recommended you for some reason. I'd never get recommended you. Red Dot Pros and Cons from the Honest Outlaw. Honest Outlaw. These are all reviews. 5 reasons why you need a revolver. And there's order of magnitude. Now, my other suggested I had to do this video twice, but the first time around there was actually suggestions for the Sky CPX2, and I actually looked at a video where you can get an actual spring kit that can bring your trigger weight down from 8 pounds 2 or 3 ounces to about 4 pounds. There's some company that actually can come up with a spring kit for that. So what are we going for next here? Was it live or was it a video? I think it was a video. He's having a little break. There we go. UK versus US gun rights. He talks for 2 minutes.
Okay. I do have a little bit of Britain gun laws facts that people don't think I know.
Because you just looked it up. Go on, though.
Don't you know that a lot of Britons think that they have gun rights, but relatively they don't to most countries?
It's more stricter than other countries, but we can obtain a license. You have to jump through a lot more hoops, but you can still obtain a license, Cecil.
Don't you know, compared to America, Britain gun owners, there's like 6 guns to every 100 Brits. That means there's only 6 guns for every 100 people. And only 6 gun owners to every 100 gun owners in the UK. Did you know that? And second, did you know that there's 103 guns to every 100 people in America?
But you says we can't have guns in the first video. Cecil.
America has the lightest gun laws in the world. So technically, you have to jump around the world and do 50,000 jumping jacks to get your certifications just to own a gun in the UK.
Yes, but it's not impossible.
So technically, relatively speaking, there is no basic freedoms with gun laws in the UK.
See, so we can have guns, it's just they're just harder to obtain. This is the kind of thing, this is why USA is better than the UK kind of thing. This is fucking stupid, like.
So this is just a little information for the dipshit in my comment section. This is not replying to negativity. This is
yes, it is, because you called him a dipshit.
This is an actual debate with somebody.
Well, if you're having a debate, don't call him a dipshit then.
Who says I'm uneducated because I don't know my, Britain gun laws. Which I don't really find a need to have Britain gun laws. I don't
Well, then stop talking about them so, please.
live in the British UK. I live in America. But, yeah, technically, when it comes to being free and having guns, America is free compared to any other country.
Right, what's my suggestions coming up with now? Here we go. New M&P 22 Magnum from the Honest Outlaw. There we go. Sky CPX2 torture test. New budget price Sky pistol CPX2 and DBG1. And that's from the TFB TV. I haven't actually seen that channel, but 5 reasons why you need a revolver from the Honest Outlaw. And there's Cecil, we're getting suggestions for your videos here for a change, because I normally don't. The cheapest pistol in the gun store, Sky CPX2 first shot from the Honest Outlaw. And where we top 5 best guns under $300. Honest Outlaw. So there we go. That's what's coming up on my suggested, Cecil. So I'm interested in these guns, and I am interested in knowing about these guns. For you to say that I don't know anything, people don't know anything about guns, it's actually, you're an insult to our intelligence, Cecil. There's lots of people that know lots of things about guns. Right, here we go where Cecil's getting his information from. There's this little video here.
So basically, my opinion on UK gun owners were pretty much already correct before.
They were kind of off, Cecil, to be honest with you. That first video, you're better off just deleting it, because you contradicted yourself.
This shithead called me uneducated based off of it. So
you're having a debate with this person and you're calling him a shithead.
Let's hit play on this. Let's listen to this fact.
Authority. In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm in Britain. So who, in general, can obtain a firearm? To possess or purchase a firearm, an individual in the UK must be assessed as not posing a threat to public safety by the police, who act as the licensing authority. In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm and be able to demonstrate to the licensing authority that they require their firearm for work, sport, or leisure on a regular, legitimate basis.
On a regular, legitimate basis. In the UK, it is not a freedom to have a gun. It's a privilege.
But Cecil, in the UK we use guns as a tool. We don't use them as a status symbol. We don't carry them around every day because we don't feel the need that we need to. Even in Ireland, Cecil, and I've already had this conversation with you, that the Gardaí in Ireland that are on patrol on the street are unarmed. If you want an armed response unit, there is an armed response unit with the Gardaí, but the general police that drive around the streets and cars and stuff, they're actually unarmed. In Northern Ireland it is different. They are armed, and we need to be here because we're in a formal war zone, Cecil. But in Ireland, the Gardaí they do firearms training as part of their training, and they have to keep that up. But in general, in public place, they do not have a firearm.
Basically. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you have to prove to them that you're either in target shooting competition, that you need your gun for work. It just said it right there. Like,
yeah, but it proves that your title on your previous video, your first video, UK, no guns in UK, is a misleading title to a video. And then you did say that we couldn't have guns unless you were police. And then you went and corrected that and said that if you had cattle and competition and stuff, yes, that's true. But it contradicts what you said in the beginning. You're better off just deleting that video altogether, because you just contradicted yourself.
Listen.
Britain. So who, in general, can obtain a firearm? To possess or purchase a firearm, an individual in the UK must be assessed as not posing a threat to public safety by the police, who act as the licensing authority. In addition, the individual must have a good reason to own a firearm and be able to demonstrate to the licensing authority that they require their firearm for work, sport, or leisure on a regular, legitimate basis, such as being a member of a target shooting club. The reason the police or the licensing authority is because they possess local information that helps inform their judgment, and discretion over what constitutes a good reason is often left up to chief officers. To own a...
I was correct.
No, you weren't, Cecil. You weren't correct. You said we couldn't have guns unless we were police officers. And then you went on to say that if you had a farm, or, you know, for cattle or whatever, and competition, yes, that was correct, but your initial statement was incorrect. And the title of your video was incorrect.
Remember, I said most people in the UK, the only way they can own a firearm is if they use it to like, take the life of cattle, like if they're involved in cattle and beef, meat, stuff like that.
We generally don't shoot cattle with guns, Cecil. There's a special tool for that. But for hunting, protecting animals from boxes and dogs and shit like that, hunting and clay pitching shooting and target sports. Yeah. We don't carry them around the street. We don't need to carry them around the street.
Like if they're killing livestock, or they're in gun competition, or they're a police officer or an officer of some sort who needs their gun for work. Didn't I say that? So I'd like to know how I'm so uneducated with people in Britain when it comes to gun ownership.
But it was clear in the beginning, in the initial video, you didn't actually do your research before you opened your mouth. You're correcting it now, but you still won't put up your hand that you were wrong the first time.
compared to America when I already knew the facts before I even fed them out to the shithead on YouTube.
No, you didn't. You didn't know. You were talking shit. You were contradicting yourself in the first video. So just fucking own up to it. There's no big fucking deal.
In the UK, a person must undergo a strict vetting procedure, which includes interviews, visits to the person's
Very
property,
strict.
criminal record checks, and references from friends. In addition, the applicant's GP may be contacted. Once a firearm license is issued and paid for, the licensed individual must store their gun securely to avoid access by any unlicensed person. What firearms may be licensed in the UK? Unless the...
And you know, in Ireland, because I know this from first-hand experience, the cabinet to hold the gun has to be approved, an approved cabinet, and the ammunition has to be stored separate from the actual gun, and it has to be examined by a member of the Irish police. I don't know what the story is over here, but that's the story there. So you have to get an approved gun safe in your house.
Declared specially dangerous by the Firearms Dangerous Air Weapons Rules of 1969, low-powered air weapons are generally not licensed in England and Wales. That means that if you purchase one of these, you do not require a license in order to possess it. It is often said that handguns are outright banned, which is not strictly true. An individual may own long-barreled revolvers and long-barreled pistols, which are defined with a barrel of at least 30 centimetres in length,
There's a
and that the
rifle.
firearm is at least 60 centimetres long. Long-barreled single-shot firearms of any caliber and semi-automatic pistols of 22 rimfire caliber are permitted with a...
They said that Britain has the strictest gun laws in the world.
That might not be true. I think Australia might be stricter, Cecil, but I'm not quite sure.
When it comes to civilians being able to legally own them. That's why gun violence is down to 2%. It's because they're so weirded about people owning guns in their country.
But we don't feel the need to carry guns on a daily basis on the street. It's a different culture, Cecil. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's a completely different thing. Guns in the UK are used as tools, like a pair of golf clubs. That's just the way it is, you know? It's your sport utility, it's your hunting tool for your farm, it's your police officer's weapon, your military person. You come up with the military in the next video, saying that they need to be trained by using certain types of people as target practice. I don't think you should have even said that, but we'll get onto that in a second.
Compared to America, which gun ownership in America is a freedom, not a privilege. There's a difference there. So I was pretty much correct.
No, you weren't, Cecil. You're always correct. Do you know, in your head, you're always correct. You went on the right track eventually, but initially you were incorrect. And you're incorrect with the title of the video as well. So just admit that you were wrong and then you corrected your mistake. It's not that difficult.
And in this video, I didn't show it. It did say that Britain has some of the strictest gun restrictions in the world. So I was correct about what I said.
Now, what am I getting recommended? 5 reasons why you need a revolver from the Honest Outlaw. A pretty good channel, that. Glock 26 versus the world. I have to see that video yet. Ooh, $200, $200 9mm. The Sky CPX2 for a shot. I think that was recommended the last time. 12 concealed carry tips you need to know. Honest Outlaw. Or this is somebody else. Gun Grips episode. Or Gun Gripes episode 3. Revolvers. I can't pronounce the name of the channel. He's got 2.4 million views. What else have we got? Yeah, we already seen that order of magnitude. And see, you're getting recommended now. I don't know why you weren't getting recommended before, but you're getting recommended now. Was the last video a live one? Yeah, it was a live stream. And it's only a short one. Oh God, he's come up with another thing, the UK death penalty laws. We'll go to this video first.
So you thought I was saying the N-word, huh?
This is cringe. This
No,
is the
that's
beginning
not my
of this.
character. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the actor. I was making fun of the video. I'm glad I corrected myself because
Cecil, you don't need to show off your CPX term. We've all seen it before. This is cringe. You're supposed to be representing the gun community in America. You're not doing a very good job of it.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Fuck's sake. You went out of your way to show off your CPX term. Nobody fucking cares, Cecil. It's fucking cringe. Anyway, go on. You big fucking child.
I just wanted to say this because I actually had a real debate.
Nice hat.
See, that's what I like. Having a debate versus arguing with trolls is a big difference.
But you said you were having a debate in a previous video and you were calling him names as well. That's not a debate. That's an insulting session, which you normally get into. I tried having a debate before with you, and I came up with facts about Ireland and about the Irish police there, and we had an over and back for a little while until you found out who it was.
Big difference. The reason why I just want to explain to you guys the real reason why I even brung up UK gun privileges versus USA gun
Was to
freedom.
rub it in our faces, basically. Oh, America's the best country in the world, so fuck you in the UK. You can't have guns. Cecil, I can see through all of this.
Because when you got trolls from the UK, like I got, Steve Huff haters.
Cecil, if you keep mentioning Steve Huff in your videos, when you're talking about CP, I'm actually going to contact Steve. Because you think I don't know him, you're fucking wrong. And don't think that I won't do it, because I will. Why are you bringing Steve Huff into this? We're not the Steve Huff hating community. Get that out of your thick skull, please.
Paranormal researchers sitting around trying to patronize you because they don't like you, and you flaunt your American gun rights on your YouTube channel because you're proud.
But you're a cringe. A normal person doesn't show off their gun the way you do. You just look like a child that's just got a new toy. Do you know? It's cringe. And then you wanted to demonstrate that you do watch gun content, and what did you bring up as an example? The Black Rambo. And I went, all right, I'll have a look at this. There's nothing educational about the Black Rambo. And I did show you videos there of Honest Outlaw and a couple of things like that. I just not into this showing off thing. And to me, it looks fucking cringe.
To be an American, and you're proud to have certain freedoms that other countries can't have? Or left?
But we can have guns. It's not part of our everyday life, Cecil. It's just, they're just a tool to us. That's all.
Of said, freedoms and privileges? Even I, as an American gun owner, a legal gun owner, even I believe, personal opinion, I believe that Americans owning guns is a privilege. Just like Americans driving cars is a privilege. Because you can get your gun rights taken away. You see, you can't get your breathing rights taken away. You can't you can get your living rights taken away. You can get a death penalty. You can get your driving rights taken away, though. You can get your gun rights taken away. So that's why I feel like it's a privilege instead of a freedom. Because freedoms is something that is God-given. It's not, like in the UK, they can't tell you that you can't breathe anymore.
Well, that's obvious, like.
Unless you've done something so horrible that they're going to take your life. Because there is a death penalty in the UK.
I don't remember the last time somebody was executed in the UK, and I think the law has changed. But if you've looked it up and it's in the next video, I'm going to watch it. But it has been a long, long time since somebody has been executed in Northern Ireland. And I'm nearly sure it's the same thing in the UK, so I don't know. I don't know. But I'm sure you're going to enlighten us in the next video.
See, regardless of what people think and assume about me, I do a little research before I speak on shit.
No, sometimes you take half the information and then you wing it and then you fuck it all up. Which you did do in this case. And it's quite obvious you did. You're using this as a kind of a dig at the UK. And I just find it weird that we're having this dig at the UK over guns. It's just weird.
And if I'm wrong about something, I don't have a problem with admitting that I was wrong.
Bollocks.
That's not a problem. I'm a human being. I do make mistakes, but...
Yeah, but on YouTube you're always right. You make mistakes all the time, and you don't correct yourself. But what you just said is complete bollocks, because you think you're always right all of the fucking time.
Let's get back to the point to why I even brung up UK gun laws.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Because I'm being trolled by multiple people from the UK in regards to me being allowed to have a gun. These people don't want me to be able to protect myself. They know that people have been stalking my family and my house and my jobs. And
with no physical evidence, but go on anyway. Blabbering on here. Fuck's sake.
And threatening my car and our vehicles.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, once I got my gun rights, I legitimately equipped myself legally with two firearms. Legally. The legal process.
You could have got one decent one instead of having two really budget ones. I believe you had a Glock in the beginning. I can't understand why you got rid of that and bought a Sky CPX2. I don't understand it, Cecil.
Lawfully allowed to carry, openly and concealed, because there is no concealed laws in Ohio or Kentucky or Indiana or Florida and multiple other states now. And I'm allowed to carry a weapon, a deadly weapon. It doesn't matter if it's a pistol, a rifle, a machine gun, or a fucking grenade. If it's a deadly object, I'm allowed to have it. I'm allowed to vote now, too. I'm registering to vote now. Because if I'm going to be speaking on political issues, I'm going to have my votes in. So,
speaking on political issues, are you going to be speaking it on YouTube? Because I think politics is kind of boring. But you might bring some comedy to it. So I might be interested.
When trolls who were saying such lies about me all up and down YouTube, which if what they're saying about me, if it was true, I wouldn't be allowed to have a gun.
No, 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 no. A person that's convicted gets their gun rights taken away. But people, just because they're not convicted doesn't mean they haven't done something. It's logic, Cecil.
So that's a serious matter to me. Anybody who harms children legally are not allowed to carry, possess, sell, buy a deadly weapon.
No, 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 Cecil. People that harm children and are convicted and caught get their gun rights taken away. But there is people that have guns that have done things to children and they still have guns. But they're just not convicted. But you know this already.
But you got to understand, these people, they don't want me to be able to protect myself, and even they know what they're saying about me isn't true. So it is what it is. So that's
Just a thing on the gun thing, Cecil. I don't give, in general, I don't give two shits if you have a gun or not. I just find it cringe the way you show it off. It's just, to me, it's fucking lame. You know? It's just, it's cringe, Cecil. I've no other way of fucking explaining it.
it's basically why I spoke on UK gun laws, because I feel like that some of the people that are trolling me from the UK are bitter. They're bitter and jealous because they're not allowed to have guns.
What are you talking about? If they want to have guns, they can apply for a firearms license, and if it gets approved, they can have a firearms license, and then they can go and buy a gun. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Do you know what the due process is to own a gun in the UK?
Yes, I do, actually.
There's only 3 guns to every 100 people in the UK. Gun violence is down to, is literally at its highest peak. What, 2%? When I randomly said what I said in that video with my daughter in the video where we were looking for my car or whatever, when I said people in the UK don't have gun rights, see, some people will read the title and not even watch the video. If you actually watch the video, I explained the type of people in the UK who basically are allowed to have gun rights. So when the dude showed up saying that he's got a certificate from the NRA, that's the National Rifle Association. That's just an organization who supports people's gun rights. That's not a legitimate place to certify yourself as a gun owner. It's not a certification company for gun ownership. Maybe it is in the UK. Maybe that's something you have to do. I don't know. I haven't checked into that. I'm not going to speak on that. But like I said, if I don't know something, I'm not going to say I do. So maybe the NRA is something that is a due process that you need as a UK citizen, whether from Ireland or any other part of the UK, England. I don't know much of the UK.
Well, then
I know
stop
it's a lot
talking.
of where my white roots come from, my settlers' bloodline or whatever. But yeah, they don't teach much about geography in regards to a whole lot of geography when it comes to the world in American education. They do teach geography, but they don't teach history, much history on the rest of the world. They teach a little bit, not a whole lot.
I find that strange, actually, because when we were at school, when I was at school, which was a long time ago, when we were taught history of America and other places around the world and stuff, you know. Maybe he is right. I mean, he does have a daughter, like, that's at school, and that. You know, I thought possibly that some of the European history would come into the education system. Anyway, we're veering off track here.
For the most part, history in America is taught about America. It's not taught about UK gun rights and things like that, so you have to look up that education yourself. But I already did some research, knowing the fact that the person who was the first one who released that fake confession video was an old lady from London, and then I started seeing people making comments about my gun privileges. So, like I told y'all before, I don't get mad really when people talk about me. When people talk smack about me without knowing what they're talking about, I try to put myself in their shoes.
No, 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 Cecil. When you're at home, when you're away from this environment and stuff like that, you get angry on a nightly basis and you have to have a release and you feel the need to go on YouTube and make a fool of yourself. You seem very relaxed now and you're very calm and stuff like that. But when you're at home on a nightly basis, you're constantly battling with people, and when you get angry, you resort to name calling and insulting, which is another big fucking problem that people have with you, and that's why people are after you. And then you wonder why people are fucking trolling you and stuff like that. The reason why I'm at your ass is because you accused me of a serious crime. You don't know me, you don't know my name, you don't know where I'm from, and you still slandered me with a serious crime, and I take it very, very seriously. I'm not coming off your neck until this is all fucking sorted out and over with. And you've done that to multiple people, including some of my friends, and I take that very, very seriously, and I'm fucking angry about it.
I don't get mad and try to ruin them.
Yes, you do. You get mad on a nightly basis.
I basically just try to understand where they're coming from or why they are the way they are.
Well, I just told you what I told you my side of the story. So now understand, Mr. Cecil.
I literally, naturally, am a pretty good judge of character when it comes to people. I try.
Oh, fucking hell. You're a good judge of character when it comes to Cecil. So Cyrix was a good guy that was trying to do good things. And that changed the very fucking next day when you were told, Cecil, do a bit of fucking research. And then you made friends with this other Tammy person, and that was a big mistake, because that ended up in a shit show. So, Cecil, that is not a very good record of being a very good judge of character.
I try to understand why people do what they do, because I don't understand evil. I don't understand a lot of things in regards to being mean.
Cecil, you're the meanest person I've ever seen on YouTube. Just because you're out in the countryside doesn't mean that you've automatically turned into a fucking saint. You've a lot to answer for, Cecil. A lot to answer for.
You know, because it's not part of my character, really.
It is, yes, it is. It's part of your character because you insult people on a daily basis. You're out there in the countryside having a nice break and you're nice and calm and everything, and all of a sudden you've turned into a fucking saint? No, I don't buy it. Sorry.
I'm all about self-defense, but I don't support bullying. I don't support slander. I don't support stalking. Any of those things. You don't see me doing that to the people that are doing it to me, because it's not who I am. I'm not a bad person.
But Cecil, you are claiming that people are stalking your house and stuff. You're walking around your kitchen with 2 guns strapped to you, and no physical evidence that anyone's stalking you, even though you've got a fucking camera system around your house like fucking Fort Knox. And there's no camera evidence. You showed on video that you're carrying around a camera because people are following you. We haven't seen any of the physical evidence at all. I think you're paranoid, Cecil. You need to relax.
But yeah, I just feel like some of the people that are from London or France or England.
Or London, France. I'm in London, France, Cecil.
Or whatever, or Ireland, that are trolling me, or people who just are bitter because they don't have some of the gun rights that we have.
Stop talking shite. Cecil, remember you said I sit around all day thinking about you and I don't have a job and all the rest of it. Well, Cecil, you're wrong. Let's just put it that way. You're wrong on many fronts. Oh, God. And this thing about jealousy, about not having guns? Cecil, you just proved that we can apply for a license and get gun rights. We can have a license to have guns. Just because we can't carry them around in the street doesn't mean we can't have guns.
You probably did hear a Bigfoot. It's very possible. This is where we caught the Bigfoot sound a few years ago. It got over 1,000 plays on SoundCloud. Hey, guys.
Oh, God. You see, with paranormal evidence with Cecil, it's all about the views. Are we going to have a conversation about Bigfoot? Because I'm getting bored.
Y'all want my SoundCloud Bigfoot evidence?
No.
Go to Google and type Bigfoot, East
No.
Fork State Park.
No.
So. Oh shit, we ain't even at East Fork, my bad. But East Fork is where we could hear it here at we're at AJ Jolly, guys.
Cecil, you were a security guard, and your security conscious by carrying guns around your house, cameras in your house, cameras in bedrooms, and you've just doxed yourself. That's not very wise, Cecil. Cecil, don't fucking tell people on YouTube where you fucking are. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a big party. There's going to be loads of people showing up. Cecil, don't do shit like that. I'm just trying to be helpful here, because you have a daughter and your missus is there with you. You put them in danger too by some of the shite that you say on YouTube. Don't fucking dox yourself, for fuck's sake.
East Fork was booked, so we couldn't get to East Fork. East Fork's my favorite place because that's where we caught the Bigfoot. But here at AJ Jolly, there is Bigfoot sightings here too as well. So.
See, so if you think I'm full of shit, there was paranormal investigators in the UK that went live and they were saying, here folks, we're at this place and we're at that place or whatever. Do you know what was happening in some of those lives? People were showing up and hiding in bushes and throwing stones and stuff. And the paranormal investigator was hearing all these fucking shuffles and stuff like that, and he was thinking it was ghosts. And then he noticed that there was stones being thrown and stuff. And he got very scared and he got out of there because he knew he put himself in danger. So that's why people stopped saying where they were. Do you know? Because people were showing up and fucking about. Do you know? Don't be doxing yourself. Like a good lad.
I haven't caught any. But at East Fork, when me and Hetty camped there, we, a lot of times that we camp, dude, we hear a roar.
It was probably your stomach. You might have been hungry.
By the lake and shit. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I feel like, that's why I felt the need to speak on UK gun rights, guys, because I got people from the UK trolling the fuck out of me.
So you thought you would attack them by saying, oh, you can't have guns, and we can. Cecil.
And speaking on me possessing a gun legally and how they want me to lose my rights, and that's simply because they want me to not be able to protect myself. And it's
No, Cecil. Most of the time, and most of the comments I've seen about you and guns is that you carry it around there like a big fucking toy and showing it off like a piece of jewellery and that, and it's just fucking cringe.
It's just sickening. And so, yeah, I already knew UK gun rights. Now
No,
I
you didn't. You did not. No, you did not. Stop lying. Stop fucking lying.
know, now that since this person said what he said, now I know the process, the due process it takes for you to actually acquire a gun license in the UK. You see, it's
Yeah, it's not impossible though. It's fucking difficult and you have to jump through hoops. But it's not impossible, Cecil.
not the same in America. In America, if you want your gun license, which there is no license, the only license there is the license to conceal. You're naturally already allowed to own guns. If you don't have a bunch of felonies, assault charges, domestic violence charges, um, illegal drug addiction, alcoholism. If you're clean like me, or proof of recovery, you gotta have proof of recovery. Um, if you got a clean record like me, I have theft by unlawful taking. It's because it was a Kenton County charge.
Yeah, we don't need to go into details about it, but you are going to. Cecil, you can't stop talking, can you? We didn't need to know about this, but go on.
That I haven't had time to expunge yet. It's literally a $1 theft charge from a bag of chips. That was a misunderstanding. That's all I have on my record. It's literally considered nothing. It's a misdemeanor $1 little petty theft charge where I was eating the chips in the store and the manager did not like it. And he would not allow me to get my uncle to help me pay for the chips. So
That story is full of holes. Like all the rest of them, Cecil. Cecil, you're a good crack. You know that. You should write a book.
I wasn't even hiding the fact that I was eating the chips in the store. Like, a lot of us do that all the time. It's like, that's basically what it was. Now, if I was guilty of stealing, I'd tell you. I don't believe there's honor among thieves because I don't steal and I don't be around people who do. I even cut off family members who were known for stealing. Ask my brothers, they'll tell you.
Let's throw our brothers under the bus. Cecil, you talk too much. You talk way too much. I thought we were talking about guns here.
There is no honor among thieves, so I don't fuck with thieves and I don't like thieves, but if you're homeless and you're hungry, you got no other way to eat, then I don't knock you for that.
Well, I agree with you. There's one thing that we agree on. We're getting places, Cecil.
But yeah, that's why I said what I said. But I do know what you need to do to acquire. You literally have to go through your local police department in the UK if you want to acquire a gun license of any kind in the UK.
Cecil, I know the process from personal experience. I don't need education from you. You're trying to educate us from one or two videos that you just watched.
You have to prove to them that you legitimately need your gun for something other than violence. Like, you need your gun to secure your place because it's been on a regular basis ransacked or whatever.
No, I don't think that's a right reason, Cecil. No, that's a bit controversial, actually.
Or something like that. You need your gun because there's big bulls that trample your ass around the farms, and you need it.
Well, it's more sort of it's more to do with shooting foxes and vermin and dogs that are bothering sheep and stuff like that. But this self-defense thing, that is a rabbit hole in itself. I wouldn't go down that because it's very complicated. But there is lawyers. There is the Black Belt Lawyer, which is a channel on UK legal rights channel. He's spoken up before. it's complicated, the self-defense law. It's massive in itself.
To protect yourself, or you need your gun for work because you're a armed security officer, or you're a police officer, or you're military personnel in the UK, or if you're in shooting competitions, because there is shooting competitions in the UK. I already knew that because I'm highly interested in things involving guns legally that are harmless to people. You know, like target shooting, gun competitions, hunting. My dad is a vivid hunter.
I'm a targeter myself, but I actually don't need a firearm because I'm only shooting holes in a piece of paper. So we use air instead, air-powered rifles and guns for shooting targets. I don't need a firearm to do that. I can still enjoy the hobby without that. I don't feel the need that I need to go through all those hoops just to do target practice. But I do know the process from personal experience. And my uncles had guns, my grandfather had a gun, my other uncle that had a farm had a gun, and they used it for hunting, clay pitching, shooting, and target stuff. Yeah, and had shotguns and stuff. So I know the process here.
Hunts deer, and he also cuts the deer up and drains the blood and makes hamburger and sausage out of it. So I've never hunted before. If you don't know how to take your kill and properly dispose of the body, then don't go hunting, because we don't need a bunch of carcasses laying around out in the woods everywhere. So that's why.
Yeah, I'm not into blood sports for just sports. Do you know, if you shoot some rabbits and bring them home and make a nice meal out of it, that's a different story. But I don't feel that. I just think it's cruel to just shoot animals for fun. It's not something that I like.
Why I never went hunting, because I don't have anyone there to either take care of the body or to teach me how to process the body. I don't believe in littering the body with dead bodies in regards to sport. I do believe in hunting, though, because it's a survival method within all humans. Hunting could be a good sport, especially if there's an overpopulation of a certain species of something that is causing people to get hurt, like the overpopulation of deer in Kentucky is a reason why they encourage deer hunting. So people who have those impulses of killing.
Before you get into that, we have a problem in Ireland regarding the overpopulation of deer. Now, there's a guy that lives just about 2 or 3 miles from me here who has a sanctuary full of wolves and that. And a long time ago, there used to be wolves in Ireland, but they became extinct. And that sort of disrupted the ecosystem, and we've got loads of deers now. And farmers say it's a big problem. This guy wants to introduce these wolves back into Ireland, but the farmers have an issue with it because it threatens their sheep and shit. So I don't know how this is going to go, but the debate is on at the moment whether we should be introducing some of these species that are once roamed the countryside, to introduce them back in to balance the ecosystem. It certainly would do that. But there is an issue between the farmer and this proposal, so I don't know how it's going to go. Now you're going to go into some controversial stuff here.
I think that's the perfect thing for like a potential killer, someone who get impulses to hurt others. I think the judge should sentence them to 30 years of killing deer.
Now, no, Cecil, that's not a good idea. But I'm not going to give you a hard time about it, because you just thought up of this, and then you says, no, this is the way I think, sort of thing. You kind of were hemming and hawing whether that was a good idea to say. But I actually disagree with that, because if a person has this instinct to harm, you can't cure it by continuing the harm. I don't think that cures the problem. You know, we can have a debate about it, but I strongly disagree with that thing, with that statement that you just came out with, because a potential killer, diverting them to killing animals, I don't think is the solution to that at all. And I think I might have realised that at the end of this, so I'm not going to give you a hard time.
Because it allows them to express their impulses without hurting people.
But their impulses should be changed if they've got these impulses, Cecil. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Those impulses are the impulses that are causing the problem. Why feed that impulses by killing animals? It's just making. I think it will accelerate the impulses, to be honest with you. But I'm still not going to give you a hard time, because I think you just thought of this off the cuff and then go, maybe that wasn't such a great idea.
They would put to good use something that will prevent people from getting hurt. I don't know. I just always think like that.
Yes, Cecil, I think you went, I don't know. And that's why I'm not going to give you a hard time about it, because I think after you said it, you went, no, maybe it's not such a good idea. I'm going to go along with that. You know, so I'm not going to give you a hard time. I am going to give you a bit of a hard time with this next one, because I'm just one of these people that don't agree with taking a life under any circumstance. Now, I know people have this idea about these kinds of people that harm kids. A lot of people say that they should be ended and stuff like that. I just think, my personal opinion is, it's not my call to make. But he actually comes up with an insult along with this, so I just, it's a very bad take, but let's hear it anyway.
Like what is the good use we can do for certain kinds of people, instead of just throwing them in jail and wasting taxpayers' money? What can we do with child molesters? I got an idea what we could do with child molesters.
Cecil, you're doing so well, and then this thing about child people, you can't get away from the subject, can you? But just go on, tell us.
We can use them for United Kingdom target practice. Any child molester found anywhere in the world, we should take them, grab their ass up, handcuff them, and ship them to the UK so the United Kingdom citizens can learn how to shoot better.
What the fuck, Cecil? Cecil, that is an insult to the UK, and you need to apologise. Cecil, that's a really bad take. Oh, God. Cecil, you don't think, do you? And Cecil, as well as that, we don't need to shoot these kinds of people and get up our practice and stuff. Some of us knows how to shoot. I don't need to shoot one of those kinds of people to improve my shooting. Cecil, this is so bad. You're wondering why people are giving you a hard time. This statement is terrible.
You can use them as target practice for the UK soldiers.
UK soldiers don't use people for practice. They have their own gun ranges. I know all about it. I have two uncles and a grandfather that were all sergeants. We don't We don't kill people here. Cecil, what were you thinking? And I know there's this hatred towards these people and that. And I'm one of these people that says, we don't have the rights to take a life and stuff like that. But to ship them over to UK so UK people can practice their guns? Cecil, stop!
Yeah, that's a good idea, right?
You really thought that one through. You're not going to reel that one back. You might reel the previous one back, but you're sticking with this one.
I think so too.
Oh God!
All right, y'all. I love y'all. Peace. I'm out.
Right. What am I recommended? Is Glock still king? Honest outlaw. Honest outlaw. Honest outlaw. Oh, here we go. New for 2022, I might have said something about this already. The Sky CPX2 Gen 3. 10 guns you can bet your life on. I haven't seen that one, I must see it. Here we go, we're getting recommended for 2 more of your videos. Cecil, I don't get recommended your videos and they're popping up here. You know? Anyway, let's have a look at what is next, folks. I didn't even see this one myself, so I don't know. It's about the death penalty. I don't know why you need to come up with this. The UK death penalty laws. Cecil, you're not in the UK. You are very cagey with the gun laws. I'm sure you're going to be very cagey with this, and I'm sure you're not going to be able to explain it all in 1 minute and 22 seconds, but let's hear what you have to say with your fancy hat.
Yeah, I spoke on the death penalty in Ireland and the UK. And yes, I was wrong about it. So Ozzy...
Well done, Cecil.
Do is this, when you say trolling shit in my comment section, telling me I'm stupid because there is no death penalty in the UK.
Yeah, I wasn't sure myself. I was sure it was abolished, but I wasn't 100% sure. I thought it might have been a law that still existed, but was abandoned. But I'm nearly sure it's abolished.
All it does is encourage me to go research. So it encourages me to educate myself. Like I said...
Good. You do that. But make sure you do the research before you talk, Cecil.
I'm not afraid of admitting when I'm wrong. The death penalty was nearly abolished before the Second World War, guys. But it wasn't until 1965 that it was suspended. Initially for 5 years and then permanently. Okay? Peter Allen and Gwen Evans were the last people to be executed in the UK. Alright? On August 13th, 1964, it was officially made illegal in the UK in 1998. Alright? So there you go. That's the truth about the actual not gun laws. Death penalty in the UK. Peace.
Well done, Cecil. Well done. What am I getting recommended now? Oh, the cheapest pistol in the gun store. CPX2, Cecil. Honest outlaw. We've seen that. Oh, coffee break. Oh, now I'm getting recommended 3-year videos for some reason. An order of magnitude. SIG P365. Honest outlaw. There's another one. Oh yeah, I was already recommended that one already. Sky CPX2. So, yeah, we gone over and back there with stuff. Cecil, my advice to you is really do your research, then you can come out with a good video, rather than coming out with something that you have to correct further down the line. You know, but yeah, I mean, like you were saying that we couldn't have guns if you weren't a police officer, and then in the same fucking video saying you can't have guns unless you have a firearm, or you're a police officer, or you're doing target shooting and shit like that. Think before you talk, Cecil. I'm just trying to give you advice here. Anyway, see you next time, folks. This has gone on long enough. Bye-bye.